This is the Wednesday Naples Mac User Group meeting, November the 11th, and the meeting is officially started. I want to welcome all of our members from all around the world and throughout the United States. As I say every week, our meetings are every Wednesday at the same time, 11:30 a.m., and you must be a member of Naples MUG to attend our Zoom meetings. Registration has started on November 1st to our classes, and we've gotten some great results, the people registering, and I'm very, very happy to say all classes are about a third of the way booked up. So we're doing a nice job with early registration. One more thing I'd like to talk about is there was a launch yesterday called Apple's One More Thing. The event had plenty of new hardware to get excited about: a new MacBook Air, a new 13-inch MacBook Pro, and a new Mac Mini, all powered by the next General M1 chip designed by Apple itself. So these are the first computers in many years that have a chip that was designed by Apple. And from everything we understand, they're absolutely fast as can be. And Mitch is going to send us a link to some videos that we can watch later on after the meeting. There's more on the, I have 4 or 5 slides in here that'll talk about the different products. The MacBook Air, this is the thinnest, lightest MacBook ever, and has 18 hours of battery life. The MacBook Pro, the 13-inch, also has the new chip. They only came out with a MacBook Pro 13-inch, not a 16-inch. So I would assume that'll be in a few months. And then the Mac Mini, also they made a Mac Mini with the new chip. Okay, and on November the 25th, we are going to have a very special meeting on Wednesday the 25th. We're going to have Charlotte Henry, who happens to be from London, England, a neighbor of Mike's, and the moderator of that meeting will be Jim Corsica, and the topic will be 1 year of Apple TV Plus. So this should be a terrific meeting. Next week's meeting will be a meeting that we have never done before. It's called the Holiday Gift Guide. It's organized and put together by Sheeta. And this is going to be a great meeting. And we're going to have 4 of our famous stars: Sheeta, Jeff, Mitch,
Jim Corsica.
Jim, that funny looking guy. Okay. So this is going to be a great meeting, and they're going to talk about holiday items for people like ourselves. Today's meeting is on iOS. It's being presented by Mitch Byers, our iOS genius. And today we're also going to have 4 guests: Jim, Marilyn, Mike, and Mitch, and they're going to present their favorite apps. It's also a Q&A meeting. And we're first going to hear now from Mike Wozniak from Suffolk, England, who's going to talk about our brand new message board and some information that is critical that you prepare for. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks very much, George. So those of you who are at last week's meeting will have already heard most of what I'm about to say, but in fact, goalposts have changed a little since the last meeting because Groups.io has just made themselves a little bit more accessible than they were even a week ago, which is great for us. So I'm sure that you all know by now that Yahoo Groups is shutting down completely. From the middle of December, there will be no such thing as Yahoo Groups. And for that reason, it's been necessary for us as a group of nearly 400 members to find an alternative message board. I'm imagining probably most of you already use the message board, but if there are any members here at the moment who don't, I'd hugely recommend that you join, that you do and take advantage of it. It's there to ask questions. It doesn't matter whether they're hardware related. It doesn't matter if they're software related. It doesn't matter if they're really complicated and about something like programming. And it doesn't matter if they're really, if it's about a really simple thing like how to format a Pages document. If you don't know the answer, there's a very good chance that amongst the 400 members, somebody will, and I'm sure that everybody would be pleased to help you. So to that end, two things are going to happen this week. First of all, tomorrow, you'll receive an email from George with a little bit of information about Groups.io. It will contain a link to a YouTube video, which I'd urge you to watch. And it will also contain a PDF, which contains all of the information about making the most of the board. But I just wanted to run through a couple of things today, just to show you what will happen on Saturday. You'll receive 2 emails from Groups.io, and I urge you please to read them and don't just dismiss them as spam, because they're really important and very, very easy. The first of the emails is this one, and the really important bit of information on this email is this information. So the group email is naplesmug@groups.io. So that means in future, if you have any issues at all, if you have any questions about anything that's Apple related, you can send a message to the board simply by addressing it to naplesmug@groups.io, and your email will be received by every other member. And one of them, hopefully somewhere, will be able to help you with your problem. The other email looks like this. And there's a very important link in this email, which is just here. And when you click on this link, it will take you to a page that looks like this. Now, the board is quite busy some days. I think George spends a lot of time posting fantastic information about Apple and Apple products on a daily basis. And you can make a decision about how you'd like that information delivered to you. I urge people really to go with individual messages, because it means that if you ask a question at some point, if somebody's kind enough to answer it really quickly, you'll get that answer absolutely straight away. However, some people prefer to receive this information in a sort of digest version, and you can see that there are a number of alternatives. So you just need to choose one of those. We urge you not to choose no email. Because if you do, if you were ever to ask a question on the board, of course, you wouldn't receive any replies, so it would serve no purpose. So please don't do that. And that's it, really. Basically, that is all you have to do to use the board. From the moment that you make that decision, you'll be able to ask questions whenever you want, and you'll receive emails from everybody else who posts on the board. Now, there's tons more to Groups.io. But the really, really, really important thing is that you just remember that email address, naplesmug.
Can't hear anything.
.io. Hello, I'm sorry, did somebody ask a question? No. Okay, so the little video on YouTube, which I'm just going to dash through these really quickly, but the little video on YouTube will explain exactly how you sign into the board. Now, signing into the board means that you can access all of the additional facilities, and I don't want to waste time this afternoon, because I know that Mitch has a packed meeting ahead. But all of this is explained in very simple terms in both the YouTube video and the PDF that will be sent out with the mail. And we hope you enjoy it. Your board has been playing with it for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It all appears to be pretty much identical to Yahoo groups in use. So we hope you find it useful. Thanks very much, George.
Thank you very much, Mike. And I want to turn the meeting now over to Mitch.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's good to be here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Mitch.
Great. I do want to take one moment to recognize Veterans Day today. And a special
Thank you,
thank
Mitch.
to
Thank you, Mitch.
all
I
the
forgot.
Troops and military who have served not only us, but a lot of countries around the world. So I did want to mention that. Now, today's meeting, we do have several presenters of apps. And let me go over that. I am going to present the CNBC stock app. Jim Corsica is going to present the IMDb movie and TV show app. Marilyn is going to present My Weather Pro. And then Mike is going to present Game of the Day, which I'm really looking forward to that. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get into my iPad and demonstrate my app. Now, each of us are going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to do this, at which point we'll take 1 or 2 questions, and then other questions will have to wait until later in the meeting because I do have other things to cover today. Okay, so here's my iPad. And we're going to go to, this is what the app looks like. I keep it in my dock because I use it all the time. So I'm going to go to there. And there are several parts to this app. This is the news part. The news is okay. It's not like Apple News. It's not like, the thing I don't like about it is that it just doesn't all the time bring up the stuff that I want to see. Having said that, there are all kinds of topics you can go to. So here are top stories, and you can scroll down and see more of those. Then here's trending news. Okay. And then here would be top videos. Okay. So there are all kinds of news items that you can get by just going down this line. Also at the top, there are various markets, and these are sort of, I believe are fixed. I know on mine, I certainly haven't tried to change them, but so here's the US stock market summary. Here, this is Europe right here. Touch that. And this is Asia. If you hit on one, like I just hit on Asia, it'll give you a summary of it. And if you scroll over, you'll get, there's the oil market. I like to watch that. There's gold. And these are just sort of summaries, and they really provide a lot of good summary information. And that's all I'm going to say about that page. Now, the next thing I want to go to is this market area. I use this, and there are several things to look at, but the one I look at all the time is the pre-market. Actually, Eckert and I were talking about this yesterday, and I'll get up in the middle of the night and let the dog out, and I'll usually check this just to get the pre-market. A lot of times it changes from 3 or 4 in the morning until when the market opens at 9:30, but it gives me an indication of what's going on. But there are also other categories that you can choose, and those are up here. And I'll go to those real quickly and show you the list. So in other words, if you want to see the Dow 30, just go there and you could scroll through those stocks. So there's a huge amount of information here as well. Now, probably the area that I use most frequently is right here, watch list. Go there, and I happen to have it set up right now on airplanes. So these are all customizable. When you hit edit, you can add, you can go down here. I can add more symbols. I can edit the list, delete things. And I also have other lists. I have several. So I'll go to this and you can see I have, you know, I call it the buy list, and anything I show on here is not a recommendation for you to do anything. I have to qualify that. And really the buy list is really not a buy list. It's ones that I want to watch more closely. And you can have the same stock on different lists. So if I'm wanting to watch Delta Airlines closely, I might put it on the buy list, but it's also in the list on airlines. So I have the buy list. Safe buys is a list that was given to me when Corona hit. And they said, these are stocks you ought to own that are pretty safe. 5G are all the 5G stocks, most of them that are related to 5G. Casinos, which I happen to follow, there are all the casino stocks and so on. So here's energy. And I just like the way I can, and you see, I have a ton of things that I follow, but this used to be my business and still is my personal investment business. But I mean, I used to do this for a living. So I have a lot of different categories, and it really helps me just stay focused on what's going on. There's also TV items that they'll show and things that you can listen to. And I think it's a great app. I use it every day, several times a day, and that's all I have to say. Did I talk fast enough, Sheeta?
Yes, you did, Mitch.
Good. Any questions?
Is this the free version?
This is the free version. There is a premium version. I'm glad you brought that up. It's $29 a year. Gives you enhanced news, a few other items like I think you could put in some price alerts and so on. I have not tried that yet, but I think I might give it a try. Unfortunately, you got to buy it for a year. So it's not like you could try it for a month and see if you like it. And it is $29
For the year.
for the year.
And does it give you unlimited CNBC TV?
I believe it does. You'll have to check that out. Any other questions?
Mitch, it's Mary. I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any way to look at individual mutual funds on this site?
Not that I'm aware of. You can look at ETFs, but I haven't tried to look at mutual funds.
Okay.
I do have, let me get back in here.
I would assume somewhere you probably could.
You might be able to, but I've never done that. I know. That's a good question. I know that. Do you happen to have a mutual fund symbol that you're aware of that I could put in up here?
Sorry, not handy.
Okay, there's a search area where you can, that would be the easiest way to find if you could follow a mutual fund.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think you can, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's a good question. Now I know that you can follow ETFs. So I've got a section where here's a lot of ETFs that I follow. And sometimes I'll put the ETF right in the area, that I also follow stocks. Like, so that second one, the ETF on gaming, if I go to back to casinos, you'll see it's right at the top. So sometimes I'll put the ETF right in the category that I've set up. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to stop sharing. And next is, I believe, Jim Corsica.
All righty, thanks, Mitch. Can I just go ahead and share my screen?
Absolutely.
Today I'm going to talk about the Internet Movie Database, IMDb. There it is, right there in yellow. And you can see that its presence on my home screen indicates that I use it a lot. You can get to this website on your laptop. You can also get it on your iPad. I'm demonstrating it on the phone because I use it mostly on my phone. Okay, so when I open it up, they'll have current ads on it, but I'm going to search for a film, and I'm going to use North by Northwest, one of my favorite films.
Good choice, Jim. My favorite movie.
Well, it's certainly my favorite Hitchcock movie. There it is. And of course, like many search engines, the more that you enter, the more it rises to the top. And so there's North by Northwest. Okay, the first thing that you can see right away is there are trailers to the film that you're interested in. Okay, and there's one of the famous shots from North by Northwest right there. Up at the top, you'll see the year of the film and the running time of the film. Now, personally, without going into details, I'm at an age where I appreciate knowing the running time of a film before I go to the theater. And so they have that very, very close to the top. And you can play the trailers. As I scroll down, it gives you an indication of where you can watch it, pay for it, or watch it for free if it happens to be on a streaming service. Okay, and there's your more watch options right there. And as you can see, it pops up from the bottom. It shows you where you can buy it or where you can rent it. As I continue to scroll up, there's the main cast, and of course there's Cary Grant and Eva Marie Saint. As I scroll to the right, the rest of the cast with basically current photos. But each of these is a link to further information about that actor. Okay, so if you know a movie that Cary Grant is in, and there's another one that you're interested in, and you can't remember the title of it, you can find a film that he's in. It brings up his name, and then of course you can go to basically a list of all of the films that Cary Grant has been in. And there they are: Charade, North by Northwest, To Catch a Thief, His Girl Friday, etc., etc., etc. You can also just enter Cary Grant's name directly, of course. Okay, as I continue to scroll up, more videos. Hitchcock is funny in his trailers. Images from the film. See if I turn it sideways. You turn it sideways, of course, there's images from the film. And as I continue to scroll up, if it's won any awards, critic reviews, which I will come back to, parent's guide, which I will come back to, but we come to the section that is my personal favorite. If you're a fan of DVD extras and deeper information about the films and filmmaking, for me, one of the most important reasons I use this app is for the trivia and the goofs. I'm going to press on trivia, and as you can see from the scroll bar on the right here, right there, there is much trivia about North by Northwest. And yes, I am freakish enough that I will read all of those. When you come down toward the bottom of the list, the app is sensitive enough to tell you that a piece of trivia about the film that you're about to read is a spoiler for the film. Warning, spoilers. So you can, if you're looking at the trivia before you're seeing the film, you have the option of watching it or not watching it, or reading it or not reading it. Okay? And then goofs. There used to be a popular series of books a long time ago, before the age of computers, called film flubs, which was mistakes in films that made it into the final cut of the film. And this is what the goofs are. They're mistakes, interesting screw-ups when it came to making the films and so forth, and a lot of little details like that I personally find interesting. If you're a parent or a grandparent and you're concerned about the content of the film and whether the child ought to watch it or not, there's a whole section called the Parent's Guide, in which case they break down, and sometimes in fairly explicit detail. So let's go to sex and nudity, and it tells you what the content of this film is. Like, one of the things is a male is in a towel and boxer briefs. Well, if you've seen the film, you know that's Cary Grant. Okay? And it will have all that information: violence and gore, which I'm sure any parent would want to know, profanity, and so forth and so on. One of the important sections for me is critic reviews. There are two sections to this: reviews by users. If I sign up for IMDb, which I have not done, I don't have a login, you can leave reviews of films, okay? I personally use it for the critic reviews, which I'm going to open up now. As you might imagine, a film like North by Northwest has a lot of reviews because it's a classic American film, okay? Right at the top, usually, of these reviews is RogerEbert.com, and he's not at the top of this one. How odd. Anyway, the two that I tend to look for are RogerEbert.com and reviews by the New York Times. I trust both of those for reviews. And then you just touch those and it takes you to a link to the actual article. And since I'm also a music fan, I'm frequently interested in the soundtracks. North by Northwest, like many other Hitchcock films, had soundtracks by Bernard Herrmann. And you can see that credit right there at the top, Bernard Herrmann. And other music that's in together with the performing artist and who wrote the song or songs. There's another section that has a plot summary, but also a section that has synopsis. And as you might imagine, there are spoilers in the synopsis because it tells you how the movie ends. So you might take care if you're going to read that. Okay. I think I've hit all of those. All right. That's it. Internet Movie Database. It's not only for movies, but it's for television as well. So even those series that go back to the early 50s, the early days of television, are in this particular app. It seems to be bottomless. Any questions?
Yeah, Jim, this is Frank. How did you share your iPhone on shared screen?
That's an app I'm going to talk about next week. It's called Reflector 3, and that's, I'm pretty sure, what Mitch used too.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
I have a question about who owns IMDb? Is it Google?
I believe it is Google.
Okay,
I can't swear to it, but I'm pretty sure it's Google.
thank you.
I also had a question that I sent into chat. Do they do new films and new TV programs as well? So you would know what to look for? Because like I was looking for a new Sophia Loren film that's coming out supposedly on Friday. Would they have anything about that?
Yes, but as you might imagine, I'm going to enter Sophia Loren right now, and I believe I know the film you're talking about. Not a Special Day.
The Life Ahead. That's
The
what it
Life
is.
Ahead. And if you go into that, things like the trivia and the goofs and that kind of thing, that list will tend to be very, very limited because the film has not been out yet. But all of the production information, the running time, there it is, it's 1 hour and 34 minutes. The rating, PG-13, all of that information is there, yes. And it's true about TV series too. You just have to be aware of the fact that as time goes on, the data within that link gets greater. For example, it's featuring a new movie right now called Hillbilly Elegy that I'm interested in seeing with 2 really gifted actresses. There it takes the link right to it, and you've got cast, you've got running time, you've got director, all of that sort of thing. Yes, so it's as up to date as you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Thomas Hopkins. I always get your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, I noticed the background here, and maybe Sheila can answer this question for us, but I think Zoom has a switch that blurs all of the background in your computer and only shows clearly the exact screen that you want to share. And so anything personal that you might have on your desktop doesn't show up and won't go on the tape.
Okay, we can get to that later. Can we continue with the presentations though right now? Thank you, Thomas. Jim, do you have anything else to cover?
No, I apologize. No, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, Mitch, who's next?
Okay, Marilyn is next with My Weather Radar. My Radar Pro, I think, is the one she's going to do. It's all yours, Marilyn.
All right, so this is the app. It's called, well, it used to be called My Radar Pro. Now it's called My Radar Weather Pro. And I've had it for quite a while, and I'm going to open it. Except I have to remember to do it on my iPad, not my computer. So you've got a really good day to see what it does. And it's not only radar, but it's other weather information. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here. And here are all the items that you can do to look at it. I use this for a variety of reasons. One is I use it for if we're going to go in the pool in the afternoon when the weather's coming, or if we want to go for a walk or something. I also like to do it when I'm shopping to know whether I should bother taking my umbrella, because if I take my umbrella, I'm bound to lose it unless I really need it. So, you know, just little practical things. Sometimes I use it when the weather gets serious, like we've had this year, but mostly just for personal reasons. This little blue dot there is the location of where I am right now. So let me go through some of the things that you can look at. This is location, this is search, you would know what that is. This is, this will show you what type of view you want. I happen to have the third one, the aerial view. And then you can look at you can have other choices: gray, roads, aerial, Mars. And anyway, I'm not looking at Mars, but those are your choices. I like the aerial view, but you might prefer the road view. So that's the first one. The second one, which is layers. Layers gives you all kinds of choices. If you look to this over here where it says per station, I think that comes with the premium piece of it, which I'll talk about in a little while. But this is where it is when I get to that point. If you want lightning to show, you can. I like to show the winds because sometimes that's helpful if you know which way the wind is blowing, whether that weather's coming at you or not. Air quality, temperatures, clouds. I don't like to put the clouds on because it covers up what I want to see. Warnings and watches, weather outlooks, hurricane tracker. Now, some of these may be on the premium and some of them may not. But there was no such thing as premium when I bought mine. So, but I'll get to that later also. Anyway, that's all the choices there. And then you have your share button. And going over to the other side, you have a camera, you can take a shot and put it in, and settings. And the settings are very interesting. You can put Fahrenheit, Celsius, notifications, enable Apple Watch, add hurricane tracker. I use it more on my phone than my watch, but sometimes it helps. There's some subscribing things you can do, airport pop-up. You can hook it up to TripIt, privacy, all sorts of choices there. And then the last, the next one over is, it's a photograph. It's not showing, I'm sorry. It's not showing on Zoom, but basically it's a photograph. Oh, there it goes. Okay. And it shows if you want to watch it in a more comfortable way, I guess. And then the final one over here is, let me get out of this one, is the general weather stuff. And it gives you, I'm not going to go through all the things, but you can see it gives you the temperature and the air quality and probability. You can do the hourly forecast if you want, week at a glance, 5-day forecast, and a variety of different things. Now, the one thing I like about this is if I put my finger on the, where I am now here, if you look very carefully, hopefully you'll see a little, can you see that little black thing there? But look where my location is and you'll see like crosshairs. Can you see the crosshairs?
Yes, we can see them.
Okay. All right. So if I move up to another place, like, and the crosshairs are moving with me. If I move up to Port Charlotte, hopefully, let me go up. It's not doing it for me right now. I'm gonna go to Sarasota. I think it's loading and that's giving me a hard time. Normally, when I would move to look at another area, the crosshairs will move with me, and up here I will get the weather for that place. So for some reason it's not doing it. Let's try it again. Here's the crosshairs. Let me see if I move it to Port Charlotte, if it'll go. Okay, it's just giving me local time. I think it's waiting to load for that area. There you go. Okay, did you see it went to Port Charlotte when I moved my little location?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's basically some of the things that you can do with it. I like, and you might even be able to see here, you can sort of almost see the eye of the hurricane right here. Yuck. Anyway, so let me go to tell you that now there is a new one out. And I just found this out after I agreed to do this. This is what it looks like over here. You see where it says Pro here? This is a new one. And I'm going to just show you, it's very similar. I'm going to hit done on there. It's very similar to the one I've been showing you. It's actually faster and moves more quickly between things. And I'll show you in a minute if there's more memory to it. So you can be moving quicker. You can get, you can zoom in and out quicker. That was a real quick zoom. I couldn't do that as fast on my old version. This is a new version. This is free, and I'll show you that in a moment. You do get ads with the free version. Okay, so let me move this guy over and show you some choices here. Okay, My Weather Pro is this one down here that I just showed you. And when you go into the App Store, you have to kind of look around because these things are separated in different places. Here is the one that I have, and I didn't know what the price was, but Mitch found it was $3.99. So, but that comes with the ads. If you, it's worth getting if you want to just go up here and this one. If you want to use the old one that I just showed you, that's the $3.99 one. If you want to do this one, the new one, mine says download because I downloaded it, but it'll say get to you on the App Store. And this is the one with the ads on it. But if you want to play with it for a while to see if you like it, you could get it for free. If you want to add premium features, there's two sets of premium features, Hurricane Tracker and professional ones, and that's for the Pro here. And and by the way, they're now subscriptions, these two. I have a different Hurricane Tracker one, so I don't bother with this. And this is the one for the new one, for this one here. And that will remove the ads. So that's my presentation. Oh, there's one other thing. There are several YouTube videos out there if you're interested in finding out more. I was just looking at just a little bit of one this morning, but I'm sure there are a lot more features that I didn't even cover if you look at the YouTube videos.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Any questions?
I have a question. This is
Go
Jim
ahead.
Forst. I just got the app while you were speaking there, Marilyn, and it's very cool. If you touch the top, the current information about Naples comes up, but you showed a screen that had hour by hour information about Naples. How do I get that?
This was, okay, are you on your phone or?
Yes, I'm on my phone.
Okay. It's a little different on the phone. Let me see if I can, let me go back to the other app because I know that one. Okay, what I did here is I touched in this area here, and you see there's a little line here. And here's the hourly forecast on this, or you can go scroll it up. So I don't know, it may be a little bit different on the phone.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting that, but okay,
Yeah.
I'll just try. I'll try it myself later. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, Mike, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, Wayne Mertz, do you have a question? All right, if you don't have a question, please mute your mic. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Marilyn.
Okay.
Mike is next, and he is going to do the room old Sims. It's a game.
Right. First of all,
first of all, an explanation. I have no coordination. At school, I could never hit a ball. I couldn't hit a tennis ball. I couldn't hit a football. If you placed a gun in my hands, I'd probably kill myself. I'm surprised that I can walk in a straight line, frankly. So computer games. So computer games were a bit of a no-no, and you know, chasing after zombies was never a thing. It was never going to be a thing. But I discovered these absolutely beautiful puzzle games. And why is a 65-year-old playing puzzle games, you may ask? But I absolutely promise that if you spend 5 minutes inside the environment, you'll understand why. One of my favorites is called The Room. And here on I'm running this directly from my iPad, incidentally, because they're very processor hungry. And I tried pushing this through Reflector, and Reflector produced an incredibly jerky image. So I'm running directly from the iPad for that reason. So you can see that there are 4 room icons on my desktop here, on my iPad desktop. The original game, The Room, was released, I believe, in 2012 by a tiny, tiny company in Guildford, here in the UK. I believe there were just 8 of them at the start of it all. Since then, it's gone on to sell more than 2 million copies, incredibly successful, many, many awards. And I was going to demonstrate that now. However, there's a glitch with the current new operating system, which I think they're busy repairing at the moment. But the original game, if you're interested in having a look, is a staggering 99 cents on the App Store. So cheap. Even the newest one, which I'm going to demo now for a moment, is, I believe, only $5. So a warning, because this has sound as well as images, I tried this with Eckhart a couple of days ago, and he said that my voice was kind of sliding in and out. Sometimes you could hear me, sometimes you couldn't. So if you can't, please forgive me, and just enjoy the pictures, and hopefully we can have a quick chat about it afterwards. We missed an introduction. Can you hear me at the moment?
We can.
Brilliant. So we missed the introduction, unfortunately, but the scene is set. We're in this strange room, very dark. There happens to be a spotlight on in the middle of the room and a briefcase. So this is the tutorial, which I'll just whiz through as quickly as I can. This is a great way of learning to use an iPad if you've never, ever used one before. So I'm just following the instructions of the tutorial, which is saying flip the switch on the spotlight. It doesn't work. I need a screwdriver. The pinch. So we won't stop to read this very important stuff, but this obviously all contributes to the story. We got the screwdriver. So I have this screwdriver, which I'm just going to drag across the screen to open the lamp. So needless to say, the puzzles are absurdly easy at the beginning of the game, but don't be deceived. They're really taxing, difficult puzzles as you get deeper into the game. So I'm dragging these 2 pieces of metal together so the fuse is in place. Tutorial: investigate the dollhouse. So I hope you're seeing the same beautiful, smooth animation that I am.
We do.
Yeah, great, great. So you can't get in, basically, and the guy's saying, I need something else from my case. So I'm going to pinch out to zoom out, pinch out again, go to the case. I happen to know where this thing is hidden, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to drag this handle down. And this is one of the reasons I love this game so much. I love Victorian science fiction, and just about everything in this game that you interact with has this lovely, lovely, lovely sort of period quality. So, Sheeta, tell me, are escape rooms popular in the USA?
Escape rooms?
Mm.
Explain.
Okay, so in the UK, in most cities, I think now, people have set this kind of room up where you go in, you get locked in, you pay money to play this game, and you go in with your friends. So you give them whatever it is, $10 or whatever. You go in, they literally lock the door, and you have a set amount of time to work your way through a number of clues in order to get out. So this is done live in real time, and can be very, very exciting.
Okay.
And I think this game is a kind of development from that idea. So I'm being told to tap the eyepiece, and we
All
can
right.
see the curious stuff appears.
I'm getting in the chat from Jeff and from Maureen that yes, escape rooms are very popular.
Right.
And Barbara says they heard it's good for date nights. So I have to try this. You know, be good for me and my hubby. But anyone else have any comment about escape rooms?
I'm just going to get you inside the building, if I may, just so that you can have a look. So I love this.
Okay, someone also commented that it's good for team building, and Betty went to an escape room in Atlanta.
And I'm going to stop there because my 7 minutes is up. But I hope that gives you a flavour of the game. It's absolutely beautiful, and a wonderful thing to do when it's hurling it down with rain outside. When that
Cool.
tropical hurricane is hitting Naples and you want to waste half an hour.
Mike, that was excellent.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was very good. Thank you, Mike.
That was
Okay, I'm
great.
going to share my screen and go on with some Q&A. First question. Oh, it's going through all of them now. What's it doing here?
Can you press the back button?
There we go. Okay, first of all, I only got a few minutes to go through these questions, but I do want to mention that this time I actually did get 6 questions emailed to me. 4 of them came this morning from 9 to 10:30, and that's just not enough time to respond to these. So I really appreciate getting the questions, but please try and send them a day or 2 before the meeting so I have time to respond accordingly. Okay, that being said, I did have one of these. This is one that came in over the weekend. On my Mac, you can attach information to photos such as title, description, keynote, keywords, etc. Can I do this on an iOS photo? You can do certain things. You cannot do keywords. You go to photos and select the photo you want, which is in picture number 1. And then you tap on, I don't know why isn't my cursor showing here, Sheeta?
I don't know.
No, it's not. Anyhow, you tap on you tap on edit up there in the right-hand corner of the first slide picture, and then you tap on the three dots that appear at the top, and then you'll see where it says markup, and you tap on that, and then in the third one, you tap on the description information at the bottom. Okay,
Okay,
does that make sense?
makes sense.
Okay, good. Next slide. So the big thing you can't do is you cannot do keywords. Okay. Still don't know where my cursor went. Huh. Okay, so, oops, I didn't realize that was going to come up.
Press the back arrow.
Okay, how do I turn off autocorrect when typing? Okay, on the phone, open up the settings app and tap on general, which is shown at the on the right hand side, and then tap keyboard, and then tap the switch next to autocorrect, which is down about the middle of that page. Wish I could, which my cursor was showing. I don't understand why it's not. And then when that is grayed out, the autocorrect will be turned off. Does that seem clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This was one that I didn't get to in the last presentation. What do you need to do for Apple Watch Family Share for a child or for your wife or so on that doesn't have a phone? Apple Family Watch, you have to have an Apple Watch Series 4 or later with cellular. And the SE is probably the best choice. With cellular capabilities. And with Watch OS 7 or later. An Apple 6 or later with Apple iPhone should be Apple Watch 6 or later with, Apple Watch 6 or later with iOS 14 or later for the initial watch setup. And an Apple ID for yourself and the one family member who will be using the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch ID needs to have two-factor authentication turned on. And this is a brief explanation, but if you Google this or go to the Apple website, they will give you detailed instructions on how to do this. Okay?
Okay.
Great. This is one that Sheila and I talked about. How to do sharing with home sharing. Home sharing is different than family sharing or than sharing your Apple purchased items. So to share your own non-Apple download content, such as your movies or your music, with other devices and guests, you use home sharing. You have to check the Apple support site for instructions on how to set up home sharing for your particular Mac OS version, and because it is different for Big Sur.
And Mitch, it's also different going from Mojave to Catalina.
I'm
And
sorry, it's different for
Yeah.
Catalina. I have Catalina, and I had to go through some magic to do it, and it does work, except it's not working for my movies, and I'll talk to you later about that, Sheeta.
Okay, works for mine. Okay.
Okay. Any questions about that?
All right. I see no questions
Great.
or comments. All right.
We're moving on. Okay. What is the difference between iCloud and iCloud Drive? Well, iCloud is basically Apple's storage system. It's not a sharing platform like Dropbox. It is used to back up and save most of the data on your device. Now, most of the data, if you look at the slide on the right-hand side, it'll save your mail. If it's turned on, it'll save your mail, contacts, calendar, photos. It'll save iCloud Drive, notes, reminders, pages, numbers, Keynote, Find My Friend information, Find My Phone information, and your settings. Now, iCloud Drive is Apple's version of, basically Apple's version of Dropbox. It is a cloud-based, making sharing of all data on the drive much easier. For example, if you start a Pages document on your Mac and save it to iCloud Drive, you can pick up your phone or your iPad and open up iCloud Drive or open up Pages, and that document will be right where you left off, and you can continue working on it. And that is very handy. You just got to make sure you're using the same Apple ID on all those devices. And notice on the slide on the right, again, I mentioned iCloud Drive is actually part of iCloud, and it's shown as such. Any questions on that?
I don't see any
Jim, I
questions.
have a question.
Yes.
I have 200 gigabytes in iCloud. Does that mean I also have 200 gigabytes on iCloud Drive if I want to save something to iCloud Drive?
Good question, and I don't know the answer. Do you, Sheeta?
It's all together. It's
all
all
together.
in there. It's all in there together.
So if I have like a
bit, because iCloud Drive is part of iCloud.
So if I have a big video file, for example, I could save it on iCloud Drive and pick it up on another device?
You can, but if it's a video that you're watching, yes. If it's a video that you are working on, I would not put it on iCloud Drive because the lag will be noticeable when you're working, because iCloud Drive will try to save it as you're working on it. It will try to sync it. And I would not work. I've had issues working with a large video file on iCloud Drive, so I don't anymore. So I take them off, work on it on my computer, and then if I want to, put it up on iCloud Drive just for viewing.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I have a question about how does if you want to share a big file, does iCloud Drive give you the link to send somebody who's not on iCloud? Like
Yes.
Dropbox does?
Yes.
Okay, so you select the file, right click, and then they'll see copy, make link or copy the link?
I believe so, but yes, you can send the link now. That at one point that wasn't a feature that iCloud Drive has, but I also believe you can share folders like that now, and you can share the file. I think I've done that as well.
So the file is shareable so you can collaborate.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
If,
Yeah,
yeah,
I got a question right quick. Can you share, could I share this with say a family member in a different location, as long as they have an iCloud account, could they access this, or can I give them access?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your help, Sheila. You're more familiar with iCloud Drive than I am.
Yes, and I do have a comment in that regard. There is an option in your systems preferences that asks you if you want to turn on documents and desktop for iCloud Drive. If you do not have that checked, do not go and check it now. Because if you don't know it's there, leave it alone, because it will change the way your iCloud Drive information sucks up space, and it'll change how you do things. So if you don't have it turned on now, please don't rush and go turn it on, because you will be calling us. So leave everything as it is, know it's there, and maybe we'll discuss this at another time. But please don't turn that on if you don't have it on now. If you don't know what it's doing, if you don't know it's there, leave it alone.
One more question, Sheila.
Sure.
I have my Dropbox folder on my iCloud Drive, and there's a little thing underneath Dropbox that says ineligible.
Yes, that's not where it should be.
Well, it's on my desktop too. But,
That's still
I
Dropbox
mean,
should not.
It's in my hard drive too.
Yeah, Dropbox and
delete it.
iCloud Drive should
If-
not be in the same place.
Okay,
They're doing the same thing, and they are not compatible that way.
gotcha.
Okay.
That's what I thought. I just trashed it.
Okay.
Well, he probably has
you-
that box checked off.
No, he doesn't. Don't say that, George.
He doesn't, okay.
What Dropbox should be sitting on your hard drive. That's where Dropbox. That's where
Yes.
the Dropbox app should be. You should not have any folder related to Dropbox sitting in iCloud Drive whatsoever.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I believe we're out of time.
Yes, we are.
I got to every question except for one and two or three that came in this morning, which I told people I probably wouldn't be able to get to. So thank everyone for their participation today. I think it was a fantastic meeting, and we'll go on from there.
All right, George, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mitch. And is everybody unmuted? Or unmute yourself, and if you want to say anything to Mitch for a second, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mitch.
Mitch.
Thank you.
You're
was a
welcome.
great-
You're welcome.
Great program, Mitch. I really enjoyed it.
Bob
Everyone's-
Kennedy, love your background.
Thank you.
Everyone stay well, and happy Veterans Day, and
Meeting.
have a good one.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.